Take my hand if you dare to stay. Feel the rush, take my breath away. If we fall, then we fall in flames. One more time, here we go again. Under the lights, we are transcending. Gravity pulls the rhythm like stars. We're never ending. We burn so bright, baby. The dawn is getting closer. Come here before it's over. We shine like supernovas. Under the lights, we are transcending. Gravity pulls the rhythm like stars. We're never ending. We burn so bright, baby. The dawn is getting closer. Come here before it's over. We shine like supernovas. Shine like supernovas. Shine like supernovas. No way back, we can slow it down. Feel the heat as it pulls us out. On the edge, yeah, we touch the flames. Hold your breath and count to 10. Under the lights, we are transcending. Gravity pulls the rhythm like stars. We're never ending. We burn so bright, baby. The dawn is getting closer. Come here before it's over. We shine like supernovas. Shine like supernovas. Shine like supernovas. Under the lights, we are transcending. Gravity pulls the rhythm like stars. We're never ending. We burn so bright, baby. The dawn is getting closer. Come here before it's over. We shine like supernovas. Shine like supernovas. Shine like supernovas.
This is the GODROCK V5, and it's going to be super nice and super easy. We're just going to go over some of the outside changes from the V4, and then we'll just show a little bit of the core and just some key points, and then we'll get right into the build. It's going to be very nice and very easy. One main difference, first off, from the V4 is that we have 4 external TCs here, 4 instead of 3 of these high roof bunker externals. And then we build foundations just as deep into the rock as we can right here. That way it prevents coverage from placing a TC almost pretty much everywhere inside of the rock, depending on where you're slamming these foundations all the way into the rock. And there's 4 of them because on V4 there was a little gap right here. As you can see right here, we only had 3 in a triangle form, but you can put 1 right there. So that's also just concerning. So you need that on an external. And then going right up into the core, you could do whatever tower you want up right there. It's very important to claim the top right at the start if you're on a competitive server. But we'll just get right into it here. As you can see, we have 3 garage doors. This is 2 layers. 2 layers of sheet metal, so 16, and then 9 or more of the garage doors right here. So it's always 16 to get to right here. Minimum 16 rockets. And as you can see, we have 2 roof layers to get to right here as well. One right there. And we go inside the bunker hallway. And again, it's very nice and very easy. You don't need some of these either just to block vision. As you can see, we have the rock right here, so it's not really necessary. But we have 2 bunker walls, 3, maybe a total of 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, don't go crazy, and there, just 7 bunker hallways. You could either choose to have the first one open from the inside or the last one and have them all open from the inside and have the last one open from the outside. That is just preference. None of that matters. And you hop in here and you have a nice actual like 3x7. And of course, you can choose a square to put an oil refinery if you don't want to put one at the front. But again, it's very nice and very easy. You could have another roof bunker right here, or the TC, and we have all of this sheet metal. There's no HQM. You could add your HQM honeycomb as you want for a higher HQM cost. The actual short that I have where I steal HQM from a clan's HQM query on, I think that was on Moose Main or something, it was 2,000 HQM per day. They had a GODROCK base. It was 2,000 HQM per day. So you can go crazy and do the whole thing HQM for about 340 to like 500 almost. Really, it's like 220 is 340 to 500 HQM, and then almost like 200 rockets per day. But 500 HQM really isn't that bad, and it's like 300 if you split it, 250 if you split it on upkeep, depending on where you're putting the HQM and double sheet metal inside on the side walls, where they just hit rocks anyway. But again, it's very nice and very easy. Right here we have 14 walls from the front to complement the 7 HQM bunker walls. So that's an even raid cost right there. That's around 100 rockets, and then we have 12 back here. But again, this is, you could stop right here and make this disconnectable, or you could push it out, or you can make it all on one TC. I do this to put like a garage or like a 4x4 or something really defendable. Doesn't matter, you could just do a garage, and then you would just reconnect the point over here. Don't mind the admin generator right here. I didn't want to run power, but you would just reconnect them all on one TC right here. You get a weird angle, and as you can see, you cannot connect two buildings with cupboards. So this is where we have a back door on the second floor right here, and a socket open to connect them. If we want it all on one TC, if you're very ambitious with your upkeep, or if you have like a 27 man, yeah, it's very nice and very easy. We have a different starting point rather than the hot dog. Hot dog should be like right here. Hot dog's right there. We have a different starting point. We're going to start at the front because it's easier for the various terrain levels, for any other actual terrain in GODROCK you get. Because if we go over here to this one, somehow I spawned in on a nice map where there's 2. As you can see, the hot dog is right here, and it's kind of hard to start it here because you have raised terrain over there and then lower right here, so you really have to guess this correctly. Whereas the other starting point is right in this, where the roof ends. There's going to be this nice like overhanging ledge right here, kind of a little butt crack of the rock right here, and you're just going to start with a square, and we'll do it in a better rock to show you, but you start right here because this is often where the highest terrain is, except for this one, of course, the one that I go to show you. It's actually horrible, the most horrible terrain I've ever seen. So this one's going to have a lot of step down, high foundations, low foundations, but you just line up a square right here, and you put a triangle into the rock, and then that gives you your perfect flat line for your bunker hallway all the way back here. And it ends up being pretty much the same core, but you're able to put like a 3x5, 3x7 inside of the rock, and you're pretty much always, except for of course when I'm explaining it, you'll be able to get this one corner one in this rock. This terrain is horrible, so we'll go ahead and do it in another rock, and again, it's going to be very nice and very easy unless you get one of these worst terrain in the world GODROCKs, and then everything's going to have to be high foundations anyway, which they can crawl under, and you lose the benefit of having 2 walls per foundation for your honeycomb. Okay, it's super easy to build. Find yourself your mega large GODROCK, best, big, strongest base location in the game, and instead of going all the way back here into the hot dog starter area, where again, if you don't have a perfect GODROCK like this one is like the most perfect one, the terrain is usually messed up, so you can't really start it like accurately every time. So you're going to come right where the roof ends, the second ledge up of the roof for your actual like cave part of the GODROCK, and you look down right here, and there's going to be this like little ledge that you could jump on right here, and right here is where we want to line up our foundation in that little butt crack. And we're just going to make sure there's a square that goes all the way forward like this and doesn't go too far into the rock, because remember, we could put a raised triangle right here and the roof pieces to block access, but we don't want to get it so far in that we can't actually crawl under our roof bunkers. We're going to run back and forth to make sure we're lined up all the way like this, so we're not running it like this over here or running it into the rock. And we're going to place one square right like where the butt crack is. Then we'll place a triangle inside, so we do have to shoot this out and wait for those stupid things, which kind of sucks, but it's not that bad. You get a perfect line of triangles all the way back here. And then you can put your squares like this. And then we'll basically be able to create like a 3x5. And this spot right here is pretty much always guaranteed to be able to be a nice roof bunker like that. Just like the hot dog, but you build the actual bunker hallway first. So it's also the same real easy way to claim it. And then we just put our TC right in here. Again, it's almost always perfect like this. See how it's absolutely perfect? And then you don't need to do this. You can actually just seal it completely off if you're going to industrial. Because you could put it industrial and then you usually have a spot right here where you could pipe it in. But then that takes a lot of TC vulnerability right at the start, because you have to get all of your electricity and everything like that. So we're just going to start it with the roof bunker like this. And now we have everything claimed here, and we can go ahead and upgrade this for easy early game protection. One thing is, make sure you can obviously hop through all this. And then we're going to make sure, it would suck to be wrong now, but we're going to make sure we can crawl through all of these. So we're going to start all of these right here. And this one's opening from the outside, but we can flip that around to open it from the inside right here. Or you could do the last one. Again, doesn't matter if it's the first or the last, you just can't do every single one like that. And then make sure you can still crawl through with these. It looks like this one might be a little rough, but this is doable. It's because this one right here is giving me issues jumping. This is also doable. Also doable. And everything is doable here. So this is nice. We got it ready to upgrade and everything right here. So what we're going to do here is upgrade these all from the outside. Do not upgrade your roof pieces. And the good HQM save and cost thing is you don't need all of these HQM, because it's going to be the same. It's going to be 2 metal walls to reach this one, so it doesn't need to be all HQM, just the first 2, because it'll be kind of, you don't want them just to path right into the bunker. And all of these can be reached at any time. But we're gonna go ahead and upgrade the foundations and the roof pieces and the bunker wall. Foundation and the ceiling tile, not the actual roof pieces, sorry. Never upgrade these roof pieces. It looks like it's a lot easier going in than it is going out, so maybe we could put like boxes or something right there to do that. Make that easier for us. And it looks like we have to spawn in right here. Again, nice way just to prevent people going deep or anything like that. But you could also put shotgun traps. This helps early on without having shotgun traps. And jump around, you'll get placement. And then we're going to use this whole thing for a nice, huge, cozy maxed 3x5 with tons of loot everywhere. And one thing right here is that behind the roof, you can't actually put the full wall right here, but keep in mind, it's going to be the same 2 walls, just not above. So we're just going to go ahead and put a floor at half height to put a half wall over our roof. Again, it's not needed if you want an industrial 1x1, but that's kind of taxing. But we're also going to put a early game double door on the back here, and you could just put, you could upgrade that later. And looks like we need to do it right here on this one. We'll go ahead and put a double door right there and seal this up like that. Now we have our emergency access before we're all ready and everything like that. And then one thing we need to do here is the front is actually just all on the original build. So there's no wall stacking or anything. It's all just a massive triangle spam of sheet metal, so you could upgrade that at any time as soon as you get your resources. But here on the back, we wanted to go ahead and get the reconnect point and the TC split point first. So we're going to come out with squares, and we need to do 7 squares and come back with triangles for a standard wall stack. But because we're gonna have to go in an L shape, so that's 3, and that's still 3, and this is 4, 5, 6, 7. Careful there. And then we're just going to come back with 4 hexagons, and it's going to be a little weird, but we'll just keep going out like this. And then this is our honeycomb right here. And we need to make sure we put these on the external, basically. The floors for our second floor. And then we could wrap this around and run back in here, or have somebody in here, and you can connect this through the double door frame. You may need an actual floor right here to stand on to get the angle, but you can connect this double door frame right here like that. Now we have it all the way on 1 TC. We can go ahead and double check that. Always make sure you're double checking to make sure you put the roof the right way. So we have no HQM and just metal for the door. So we're going to test and upgrade one of these to HQM. You don't need to do that. You could just count the actual numbers, but now we have HQM. I don't want to count if it's 3,300 stone or 3,200 stone. Now everything here is connected and we're ready to spam honeycomb endlessly. And what I mean by saving your HQM is that if something like this side doesn't need to be HQM. You could leave this sheet metal and have 2 sheet metal right here, but this you want HQM. But again, it's not necessary. Right now we could access the whole back walls of the base, and since there's no foundation here, we can't access that. We should have actually upgraded this to shipping container or sheet metal first. Not that the rear needs to be upgraded, but we could access those floors and we could access everything right there. And we're just going to spam triangles all the way out here. So you see we have 1, 2, it looks like our angle's a bit off here, so it might be a bit smaller, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we do need to go out a bit farther. 9, 10, 11, 12. This is about as far out as we'll go for the 12, which does look like a lot, but it's all just metal. And then this stuff right here doesn't really need to be. As you can see, this doesn't really need to be as honeycomb. We just want this whole like V shape. Want this whole V shape right here to be honeycombed. Like that. You want all of that for the main honeycomb, and again, you really want to maximize or minimize, min-max your HQM usage here. So like this stuff be HQM because that's just 4, that's 100, and then this stuff could also be HQM. That's just another 100, and then we just have 2 HQM layers just like that. And then these right here, I would also do HQM honestly because that's 3, but it's not necessary. Sorry about that, it's not necessary, but we'll just get right into upgrading this to all shipping container. And then we'll do a little bit of HQM just so you guys can see how good it is. So we're just going all shipping container right here. And we don't want, we'll just demolish that roof right here. So now it's all decaying, but we'll just go put it on an external. Shipping container. And again, this is really not necessary. I mean, like I would leave this stone only if I didn't want it adding weird upkeep to the base, so I just upgraded to metal anyway, but this is like completely not necessary. I can't even shoot a rocket behind it, let alone do anything else. But these, we'll just go ahead and upgrade these to HQM because again, you really want to min-max that if you do use a bunch of HQM. And then right there is just 200, and we have 38 plus another 16. So already. And then we're just going to do one more right here. May need to get a weird angle in here for this side. And it's completely not necessary, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. Again, those are barely necessary. Talking about 90% of the walls in the rock. And now get yourself a ladder, come up here, and obviously on some of these, you do want them HQM. But on some of them, completely not necessary. There's no way they could even get an angle to splash and shoot in here without smashing themselves, and this is already shipping container metal anyway. It's not HQM on this layer, but we do want to maybe put a half wall pancake layer in here just to really demoralize them if they try and go top of the rock. And then we're just going to again continue spamming sheet metal. It only gets to about 10k sheet metal per day for the rear one. And we built out to 12 right here, so we can pop it on an external CC here, TC there, or you could just continue. And again, this side is going to be completely rocked. So, I mean, you could do stone, but I hate having, you get less upkeep total when you have 3 materials, actually how many hours you could fit in the TC. So we're just going to go all shipping container and HQM, just so we could fit a bit more in there at one time. And at this point, we are also just going to put this back on the one external. I'm going to put this back monolithic on the one TC. You could disconnect this, reconnect this anytime. I actually do it pretty frequently to make it decay, to reduce upkeep, and then pop it back. Very big brain move. And we'll just continue with the honeycomb up here. And it looks like we have kind of a tall GODROCK right there, but it's not too bad. We'll go ahead and put some roof coverage there. But every single thing here, there's no fuss. It's all just triangles and all shipping container sheet metal. And due to the way of how it is, it's 2 walls per bunker. I don't need to show all of this. It's literally just honeycomb triangle spam. There's nothing special about it. You could just do this as you go once you're farming or you hit excav. There's literally nothing special about this. I'll just cut until all of this is done. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and wall up right here. Cover our roof pieces and we'll metal all of these, because you're likely gonna be metal before your HQM. And maybe do the first outer one HQM and make sure the foundation behind it is metal, not the soft side one in front. I mean HQM. Make sure each bunker has the foundation behind it as HQM, not in front of it. That's what keeps it up. But to go ahead and seal everything right here, we could use these HQM, but again, once they get back here, they're already, we have 8 right here, so they're already 16 walls deep. And then back here, I mean, sorry, not 16. We're already 8 walls deep right here, and then 14 right here. So it doesn't really matter as far as honeycomb. I mean, as far as HQMing them, sorry. But the first ones are always good to HQM just because it already be like that. And then maybe on these, since we have this really tall and they could literally just crawl under here, maybe we will go ahead and HQM some of these. But you just want to put a roof, crawl on in here. I'm having horrible server performance because I'm hosting the server myself. But you just want to make sure you have a bunch of roof pieces like this. I'm gonna make these HQM, and we could put it overhanging it. Actually, that way we don't need the actual top to be HQM. We could have this HQM. So that's the one HQM layer. This is going to increase it a little bit, but again, we have a really tall one right here, like this. And actually, on this last one, we're gonna do HQM this way. Looks like we could put a floor up here, and then we could do HQM this way, like that. And then this is going to be double sheet on the side, so we don't need to worry about that. It's just these weird open things above the bunker. And now we'll just cut to adding this whole army of honeycomb really quickly. And once you get to the top front right here, we do want to make sure we have an astoundingly tall, large GODROCK here. But we're just going to go ahead and do more roof pieces, which you can use for the conditional to cover it like this. And that's going to cover all of those. Then we're just going to go ahead and add one more layer right here. Like so, and then we can put a raised triangle right here. We're going to do that all along there later. And then we kind of want to match up this floor right here. Looks like we can actually add one more. Okay, we can actually add one more. We're gonna have 8 right here. Very nice. And we'll just go ahead and add one more, even though it won't be the easiest to seal that up. And then once we go ahead and we just want to make sure we want to come off like this is a square. Do not upgrade that. We want to come off like this is a square, so we'll go around like this to match this floor. We'll go like this in the rock, because this stuff doesn't matter. And then we can connect this right here to seal everything up. And in the intro I had these as squares. You could have these as triangles, and I had these as triangles, but you could have these as squares. It doesn't matter. And you go like that, and then that's your wraparound. And I had it wrapped around like this, but I had the hexagon on this side. It doesn't matter too much. Again, because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. A little bit different, not too bad. Roughly the same. And then we could even use this as like a depot spot or something. Get creative with it. That's the actual best part of the GODROCK. But now that you have all of this right here, we want to really make sure we get this 2x2 of roof conditionals right here. And that's going to give us this nice seal point. That's going to nicely seal it over right there, and then we could add even more roof pieces over here. That way it doesn't actually interfere with our bunker wall. And looks like we need... Looks like our dang rock is so large. We just put a floor over like this maybe. And then another one right there. And then kind of get into right here, the top of the honeycomb, but it's not that bad. And then we're just going to do this again right here. These roof pieces are going to be your best friend for these rock bases, just so you can cover everything. And we're going to do this again right here. It looks like we're sticking out a little bit more than the intro, but again, your rock is going to be different. It's going to be nice, and it's going to be easy, and it's going to be 100 plus rockets. And that's pretty much it. You want to go ahead and make sure that you do one of these before you do this, which we're still in the demolish timer. Make sure you don't make the mistake I did. You just want to put one of these right here, not that way. You want to make the same mistake I did twice. I mean, it's not really necessary, but looks like we made the mistake a bunch of times. Is it right here? Right there. Lay the roof down. Now put it here. Now we can put a floor here. And we can put these here. So that's going to pretty much cover our rock as much as possible. Again, that's not necessary. It's really, since we're so close, all it does is prevent them from... If I break that, it just prevents them from going downward, especially because we could already put them right here. You don't need it on the outside one. So if you're watching that and you're like, why did he do that at the end? It's really not that bad. Because we're going to have them all right here, and these ones you could place at any time. And if you're having trouble with the high foundation, make sure that you try the other ones first. Because if you can't get the high foundation on one, it needs to connect to another one. So as you see, we have one high one right there, and if we get this one right here, try and place it like that. See how I placed the low one and then the high one connects, and then we should be able to place this. It's really weird, don't ask me why, but that's how you do it. Even if it's red, don't fret. And we'll go ahead and get this right here. And again, Now that we have that high one there, we should be able to connect this in. If we could break this first and then try it there. Try it again. Looks like this one really does not want to, but we'll go ahead and try it one more time right here. Create that high one. Now we can do this high one. Don't ask me why it does that. Got that high one right there. Let's go ahead and knock that. It's gonna be a little pain in the butt, but it's gonna be nice and easy after you have it built. And then go in here, jump through there, and now we finally have them all high foundations, as you could see. So we don't really need this one at the end. I just like to add it. You don't really need it because, again, if we put a foundation right here and a wall right here and a wall right here, it's really not the best angle for anybody to shoot a bunch of rockets in. And this whole time, instead of only doing one facing away, we could put a roof forward like that on each one. The legendary sideways rock roofs right here. And if you put one outside facing like this, looks like we're slightly far, so they can kind of see through and maybe shoot the twig. But that sort of ends right here. It was a bit too far. It was just slightly a bit too far, so if they do stand right here up on something somehow, and somehow shoot a rocket right there, they could just hit the second one. They can't really splash, because you're gonna have to break the walls anyway. But again, it's very nice and very easy. And of course, at any time, hopefully right in the beginning in the stone version, you just want to place whatever base. It doesn't matter. Just start. Tower really doesn't matter. You start with whatever up here. You can almost always fit a 2x2, except for when you're recording and explaining things, then you just can't fit a 2x2. But otherwise, you could just always fit a 2x2 right here, and you could do like an airlock right here, and then a step down piece for you to jump up in, and then we could do peaks right there for Patricos, and then we just run a 2x2 all the way up. And since we're already so far up, we could just make an airlock right here and do a TC right here, like sort of like a starter right here, just to claim it early on. And then you could also do some peaks. Again, just to have early on peaks right on your top of the rock. Very nice and very easy. And then lastly, you just want to come to these 4 corners right here. There's going to be 4 corners of the rock. There's going to be 1, 2, and then 3. And then in the middle somewhere here, your privilege will drop, and that's where we'll do another one. And you could do this everywhere. You could put a double high foundation. Remember, it doesn't need to be actually right up on there. So as you'll see, we'll do this, and we still can't place the TC right here. But we could probably place the TC over here. Looks like it's actually just all this twig extra right here. It doesn't go actually into the rock. You see, we could just place a TC right here. So all we need to do is create a... Put the TC over here. Okay, this will work better. We'll just go ahead and do a double wide one. So the TC is actually in this 1x1 right here. That's of course grassed up, so I can't do anything. And then we just go ahead and open it from here. Crawl in. Do the whole shebang. Very nice. You don't need to actually put the TC right where it is on the high foundation. You could extend that and just create the doorway. Makes a little bit more for upkeep, but it's really not that bad. Okay, it literally got sundown and I forgot I was on my own server, so I just turned the time up. But we're just going to go ahead and put more TCs on the 3 other points. So we'll come out over here on this side, nice triangle, and as you see, we're out of build priv right here. It'll start right about here, and we're just going to do a high triangle foundation. Again, it doesn't have to be right on there. Looks like this is right where my other one was. Absolutely huge. Got that right on the money. And we'll just go ahead and make one right here. And then we'll put this right here in the ground. And then we can pop this open at any time to check on our TC. We can go ahead and honeycomb the top here. And on all of these, you do want to push as many foundations as possible just back into the rock right here. Because you will have to break, you will have to break the TC out. It's not disconnectable, but it's just a single Molotov. And if you're living in a GODROCK, you better have a few mollies. And we'll just go ahead and push more foundations into the rock. We want to do that on all 4 of them. As you can see, between these 2 points, we will drop privilege right around here. We got privilege right here and privilege right here. We will naturally just drop the privilege right here. So we want to do the same thing. Find a high foundation right here. And then we can go ahead and make one more right here. And you can put that TC right on the opener if you want. And then again, we can just push more foundations all around into the rock wherever we please. It looks like I almost got that one on the same. So that's one on the back by the rear, one in the front by the front honeycomb to the left, and one in between them. And there should be just one more spot over here because this is like a thin spot for the rock. It actually extends privilege to the rock pretty well over here. And as you see, I have my actual bag right there from the previous one. You should be able to put a really high foundation just on the rock right here, any terrain. This side's the actual easiest. And then again, push more foundations into the rock itself to create that overlapping privilege. And that's pretty much it. You would just add more honeycomb to the rear. I'm not going to show you how to build the 2x2. You could build whatever 2x2 you want up there. That's not important. It's just the starter. And then the honeycomb right here. And again, with all these triangle spams, all you have to do is leave the touching ones wood and build out a 4x4 garage right here. And then just make sure you don't connect walls right here. So we want it flat, like right here. Like this. This is where we want the max of our honeycomb for our sheet metal. And you can build it all the way up, connect it all the way around. However you want to do it. And it's going to be nice and easy. And you just break these. And then this is on the external. So we have all of this on the core. So you just flop these back and forth. You just break that one, and now there's no TC priv out here. And you can put a TC out here hidden in a 4x4, whatever you want to do. And then the moment anybody breaks that, you can just replace this right here. Or you could actually keep this placed and put the TC over here a lot farther out. Like hidden in a China wall or something. I think it's like it's gonna be the 6th foundation, like right here. Yeah, so you just put it this far out and keep all of that on the one monolithic TC. And you could build this hidden for just an external in the China wall or anything if you want monolithic, which is a bit better for raid defense, or if you want it split. Either way, it's going to be very nice and very easy. Just make sure to start that thing right here in this little butt crack area instead of the hot dog, just because it's going to be easier in all terrains. And then you get yourself a nice giant 3x3, 3x7 to do loot in. Remember, furnaces, electric furnaces, lockers, repair bench, research table, they all clip inside the rock. So you can put all of those in whatever part of the rock you want. And I like to put an oil refinery out here in this thing. You can put one in the core if you want to, but to do this goofy seal, you need an empty foundation spot, and it's going to be pretty nice for an oil refinery. And again, very nice and very easy. This took forever because I'm not buying rusticated VIP. I'm not buying server VIPs for GODROCK designs, and they're all taken on all the other public servers. So again, very nice and very easy. Go ahead and try the starting layout for yourself. If there's any questions, just let me know.